It's Tuesday, February 15th, 2022, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Allie O'Neill, and I feel like I quit. Didn't I quit a couple weeks ago? I don't know. Anyway, I'm here for Brian Troxell, who's still on a Valentine's date with your mom. Or maybe my mom. Which is silly because she already has a boyfriend. He's a Nigerian prince. They're gonna get married as soon as she sends enough money for him to get his papers in order and come over here. I'm gonna sing Ave Maria at the wedding. I'm so excited. On Sunday, during a pre-Super Bowl interview with NBC's Lester Holt, President Biden said the LA Rams would be hard to beat, unlike him in 2024. Yes, this past weekend was the big game, and here with an in-depth analysis is Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard.
Thanks, Allie. I've been going over Super Bowl 56 with a very fine-tooth comb to analyze just how one team was able to win compared to the other team. Here's what I was able to find out. In the first quarter of the game, there was a guy, and he had the football. And he's like, oh, I don't want the football, so he ends up giving the football to another guy. Now, this other guy has got the football, and he's like, well, I guess I could run with it, or maybe I can throw it to someone else. And so this guy's like, I don't want the football, I'm going to give it to someone else. So he throws the football, and the football lands in the hands of some other guy who just happens to be on the same team. Now, this other guy's like, oh, cool, I've got the football now. But wait a minute, all the other people in the other jerseys are like, oh, we want to get this guy, we want to kill him and crush him, yeah, football. And so the guy with the football is like, I got to get out of here. So he ends up running, and he's running toward the end of the field. And once he gets to the end of the field, then he's in this zone, it's like a safety zone, where nobody can tackle him. And so the guy with the football is like, ah, cool, I made it to the safety zone, I'm safe. And as it turns out, every time he does that, scores points for his team. And so this process ends up repeating itself throughout the Super Bowl until eventually one team does it more often than the other team, and that team that did it more often and scored more points, turns out they won the game. And this team, they're all like, hey, we're going to Disney World. And it's like, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go to Disney World. Here's why. Number one, you're already in California. You can go to Disneyland. It's probably cheaper. Number two, Disney World is in Florida. You're going to have to fly there. You'll probably be flying on Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines joke. And then once you get in Florida, it's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. Listen, I used to live in Orlando. I lived there for several years. The traffic is crazy. There's like cars everywhere trying to get to Disney, and then there's toll roads, and you gotta pay to drive on the roads. It's absolutely madness. And then once you get to Disney, then you gotta wait in line, you have to pay. But then again, you won the Super Bowl, so you probably will be able to skip the lines and get in for free. But then once you get into the park, it's like, oh, there's more lines. I got to wait in line to ride the Millennium Falcon. But you won the Super Bowl, so you'll probably be able to just like push some people out of the way, and you can be like, ooh, look at me, I'm the Millennium Falcon guy. Yeah, this is pretty cool. But then also, you got to pay money for those popcorn buckets that people are spending like $300 online for. I mean, who pays $300 for a popcorn bucket? You won the Super Bowl. You should be able to go to the concession stand at your stadium and be like, hey, I won the Super Bowl. Can I get that bucket of popcorn for free? And probably the person at the concession stand will be like, yeah, fam, you won the Super Bowl. Cool. Here's your popcorn. You don't owe me anything for this. And the guy who presumably had the football but now has the popcorn bucket is like, oh, cool. I got this popcorn bucket at no charge because I won the Super Bowl. That's fantastic. And that's my Sketchworks NewsBrake analysis of Super Bowl 56. Back to you, Allie.
Thanks, Tim. The Los Angeles Rams came out on top in Super Bowl 56 with a 23-20 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. The Rams will be going to the White House to celebrate, while the Bengals will be going to Skyline Chili to gorge themselves on chili sauce and shredded cheese. The Super Bowl halftime show included a smattering of hip-hop stars, including Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent, who hasn't adjusted himself for inflation since the early 2000s. In Olympic news, world athletes are complaining about food served in Beijing's quarantine hotel, calling it impossible to eat. It's their second biggest complaint about the hotel. Their first complaint is still not enough condoms.
Here's your Valentine's Day message from your friends at the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Snitch on your lovers or ex-lovers for being involved in illegal gun activity. Because nothing says, "I love you," or "let's be friends," like a federal agent kicking down your front door so they can shoot you and your dog.
Former President Donald Trump hosted a Super Bowl party at his Florida estate. His guest list included Patriots coach Bill Belichick and former Jaguars coach Urban Meyer. This is one of the few times where Trump was not the biggest jerk at Mar-a-Lago. Cryptocurrency companies seized on the opportunity of Super Bowl advertising with several high-profile commercials during Super Bowl 56. Unfortunately, the companies had to use real money to pay for their ads because NBC doesn't accept made-up internet tokens or JPEGs of funny-looking apes as payment.
In an interview with the website Insider, actor Seth Rogen questioned the very necessity of the Academy Awards. He said, and these are his words, "Maybe people just don't care about the Academy Awards. And why should they?" My first thought on this was, is Seth Rogen related to Joe Rogan? So I did some research. After doing my research, I learned they are not. Seth Rogen is Canadian, of Ukrainian and Russian descent, and spells his surname R-O-G-E-N. Joe Rogan is a Jersey boy of Italian and Irish descent. He spells his last name R-O-G-A-N. Similar, yet different. My second thought on this was, I agree with Seth Rogen. Until, of course, I get nominated for an Oscar, in which case you should care about the Academy Awards because I'm going to win it one of these days. Mark my words.
8th graders at a school in Connecticut were told to use pizza toppings as a metaphor for sexual desires. I really hope they had a discussion about the importance of not kink-shaming freaky people like myself who enjoy pineapple on their pizzas.
And now, your Sketchworks NewsBrake unnecessary drone shot. This has been your Sketchworks NewsBrake unnecessary drone shot.
Zendaya's wax figure at Madame Tussauds in London has the internet divided. Half the internet feels her likeness is not at all flattering, while the other half of the internet flat out don't care.
A government report finds most of the fentanyl being trafficked into the United States is coming from Mexico. I am someone who pretty much questions everything the government says or does, so I decided to do some fact-checking on this story. I texted my fentanyl guy, and here is what he told me. I asked him, is his stuff trafficked from Mexico? And he said, yes. So I guess the government is right. This time. Your favorite online game of yellow and green squares may be getting harder. The New York Times recently bought Wordle for at least $1 million. And now, many people are claiming that Wordle is becoming harder to solve because the puzzle's now using fancy words that you would only find in the New York Times. But then again, that's on you for not knowing that Katie's is the plural of Katie, which is defined as a Muslim judge. I mean, anyone who reads the New York Times knows that as a fact.
The state of New York will receive $26 million in federal funding to build electric car charging stations. Hooray, said the middle class who can't afford cars.
Former U.S. Senator Al Franken, who resigned for groping multiple women, says he finds the idea of running for Senate again very tempting. Though he would still be a U.S. Senator if he showed some restraint the last time he found something or someone tempting.
Melania Trump announced on Wednesday that she will make Twitter rival Parler her new social media home. And since it's her new home, she promptly decorated it like this.
A priest in Arizona resigned after he incorrectly performed thousands of baptisms by saying the word "we" instead of "I." The diocese plans to rebaptize all of those people, but to save time, they're just going to spray everybody down with a fire hose filled with holy water.
A social club in England made headlines this week when guests found that a pig had wandered inside. Many thought they meant a real pig, but no, they merely meant Prince Andrew.
And now, It's time for the Sketchworks Comedy Gratuitous Plug! Saturday, February 19th is the Sketchworks Improv to Sketch workshop at Dynamic El Dorado in Atlanta. This fast-paced workshop incorporates the use of improv skills to create original sketch comedy content. 2 separate workshops are offered, one for kids aged 12 to 16 and one for adults 17 to up, because 17 and up, that's an adult, right? Plus, Uta Hagen's 6 Steps for Sketch Acting. I hope I pronounced that correctly. In this 4-week virtual class, students will learn how to break down and map out scripts the Uta way, building comedic characters from the inside out. To register and for more information, visit sketchworkscomedy.com. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share all things Sketchworks comedy related. Trust us, we're all out there on social media, and you will be glad you did.
The CDC recently announced that COVID booster shots are only effective for 4 months, meaning anyone who got their booster shot is already due for another one. So, I should go get jabbed again. That's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Allie O'Neill, reminding you, I still got love for the streets.
Well, that was the worst Valentine's Day ever. Where the hell am I?